Frank Gehry once said, and I quote, "Architecture should speak of time and place, but yearn for timelessness." Good afternoon. A very warm welcome to all the dignitaries and students here to witness the open house series of Aditya Academy of Architecture and Design. I am Kirtana G. Prasad.
And I am Shubha from semester 9. They say, good first impressions make a difference. Open House Week gives everyone an opportunity to witness the remarkable talents of students who strive to perform their best with a paradigm shift in the learning process. Focus of this initiative is to reiterate the importance of vertical learning and horizontal learning. Vertical learning is the process of integrating design at all tiers across semesters, and horizontal learning, a consolidation of all aligned subjects taught in the semester towards hierarchical design. As students of architecture, we are taught many aiding subjects along with design subject that is incorporated for both designing of spaces. There is a constant accumulation of design and other elements which assist in achieving effective designs, along with finer learning of user-responsive architecture.
Indian Nobel Prize laureate Rabindranath Tagore once said, "The highest education is that which does not merely give us information but makes our life in harmony with all existence." During the pandemic, when the whole world is frantic to overcome, technological developments has surely been a tremendous blessing for all working professionals and the student community as well. Conducting online classes provided us new possibilities to stay connected along with regular continuation of our academic work. This paradigm shift in the learning process became an excellent platform for boosting up our motivation and constantly encouraging us to stay focused and determined towards our studies. We in AAAD as students understand the importance of integrated learning and how it stimulates the amalgamation of all the design components to achieve strong and satisfying design ideas and components. Our director, Dr. K. N. Ganesh Babu sir, has given us a fantastic idea and opportunity of learning architecture in the form of integrated learning. I would now invite our director, Professor K. N. Ganesh Babu sir, to speak a few words about this session.
Thank you, Kirtana. Welcome to this wonderful platform of AAAD Open Day series. And good afternoon, everyone, all the students, moderators, organizers, faculty members, and guests who are present here today. I think this is a wonderful opportunity given to me to introduce this series. And as the introduction goes, this vertical learning has already been explained, and connectivity between semesters, and the beautiful opportunity for the juniors to look into the seniors' work and the seniors to look into the juniors' work and appreciate them at this common platform. In fact, this was something which was planned a couple of times in the previous years to have the students' work showcased during not the end of the semester, but the commencement of a new semester, so that there is a sort of an interaction happening, there is a sort of learning process happening as a orientation for each semester. But unfortunately, it couldn't happen because of various issues. It was more of an exhibition which was planned. But I'm so glad that at this time of pandemic, we are able to do this. And I think the first abstract thing which we have to thank is the pandemic for giving us this opportunity to organize this series. Thank you all the organizers. And this is a student-oriented program. It is completely organized and taken up by the students and for the students. And it gives us immense pleasure to sit back and look at your achievements in the last 3-4 months. Everyone has done a wonderful work in the last 4 months, 3.5 to 4 months, dating back to March 26th, when we had announced this online classes to start. March 15th, the college physically closed. Please recall, it's very important session what has happened. 26th, we started the online session, announced the online session, but probably started from April 1st onwards, starting with theory subjects and having a number of issues of organizing it, getting connected, having the students oriented towards this sort of a new education system which is totally unconventional, and going through the month and slowly starting with the design in the month of May, so that you get accustomed with the system. So May, June, July has been a marathon time for all the faculty members, students, and of course, when you people are busy at your home, your parents would have had a tough time managing you people and providing you the facilities of connectivity, the gadgets for junior sections, providing material for sketching and doing all these things. But across all this, crossing all these hurdles, today we have come to a state where we can say that, we have achieved something. All our students, faculty, the efforts of faculty members has started giving, the fruits are already there, fruits have already been assessed and sold. Your exams are over. Now it is time for us to reconcile and see how the session happened, how our juniors have worked, how our seniors have worked. Wonderful, wonderful way of exhibiting this. I appreciate all the organizers who have taken the initiative to do this. And as faculty members, it's a week of relaxing for us. We'll just sit back, no questions to be posed, no doubts to be asked. We just have to sit back and see what we have done in the last 4 months, and what we are going to do based on these lessons, what you have learned, what better we can do in the next coming semesters. Definitely, the next semester is going to go online. Probably you would have already guessed. And this is also a sort of commencement of next semester. It's a sort of transition period. This entire month is going to be a transition period where you will come across these series of designs, a series of few lectures, not much, very few lectures, a period of enjoyment. And in a conventional time, I would like to mention this at this particular point of time. In normal days, we conclude the semester by giving you people something called the vacation assignment. I still remember the first vacation assignment which I gave in AAAD for the 2015 batch, same June, July 2016. And that was the time I stepped into AAAD, and that was my first address to the students. And the students were taken for a shock of their life when they had the first address from me with the vacation assignment given to them during the holidays. Yes, this is a transition time. It is something meant, designed for you, not to lose a track of what happened in the last semesters, preparing you for the next semester. And this time, a wonderful August 2020 has given us a chance to go virtual. And let us do what has to be done today. If we are going to call for such session in normal time, it is not going to happen. It will become unconventional. But today, this is the way we have to do, and let us do it. I think we will have 4 speakers every day and student oriented. There will be hassles, there will be issues, connectivity, joining, rejoining of different students' presentation. Let's bear with all the technical slack, technical issues, and let us focus on the students, how they have done, how they are going to relieve themselves. It is not all about learning design, not about learning theory. It is about organizing, it is about speaking, it is about your way of expression. There are a lot of things, a comprehensive system of learning. So let's go ahead. Thank you, Kirtana. Thank you, Shubha.
Yes.
And this
Yes,
effort has
sir.
been backed by their coordinator, architect Durga Prasad sir, very well supported by Arunachal Hambale sir, a senior professor, and our design related people, and all the faculty members who have helped us to do the various posters, the write-ups, the moderation, the rehearsals. I appreciate everyone for taking this wonderful effort to make this day happen. And the next 1 week, 5 days is going to be a sort of a wonderful celebration. Have a nice time. Be tuned, and please join us on all the 5 days. Thank you, and over to you, Kirtana. Please continue.
Thank you, sir, for your gratifying support in inspiring the students to work with continuously with determination and dedication. It also presents the evolution of space solutions explored by the students from the first year to the final year. We hope our AAAD Open Week series will expose and encourage the students to holistic and contextual thinking approach.
Today, we have students from each batch to exhibit their projects of design, providing all a chance to observe the work of Triple AD. Believe in yourself, you are braver than you think, more talented than you know, and more than you imagine. In an increasingly urbanized world, architecture plays a vital role in shaping and influencing complex urban environments and creating meaningful places that enrich the lives of people. It becomes important to understand the dynamics of urban environment along with the aspects of interrelationships of urban fabric with its users. Now, I ask the first presenter, Rahul from semester 8, to talk about his design work on Urban Interface Center.
Uh, Thank you, Shubha. Thank you, Kirtana. Um, I would like to, good afternoon, everyone. First of all, good afternoon. And I would like to first start off by telling thanks to all the organizers and especially our principal, Architect Durga Prasad sir and Architect Arunachal Hombali sir, and many other fellow architects who helped uh, start and initiate such a program so that not just one semester but all other semesters and people from all around Karnataka and I hope all around India are able to see what we have done in this pandemic time and also as a college project. And I would like to start by telling when we started this whole semester. I think we started it around January or Feb. I think that is the time when our whole semester started, and it was, I think, around 10 to 15 days or 20 days of classes is what we had, and all we did then that time was we went for case studies. I think all other batches will also agree. The only thing we did was go for case studies and stuff, and the rest of the classes happened totally online. And starting it was like, either they had connectivity problems or they couldn't understand, because this particular course architecture, I personally feel is it has something to do with live interaction and also on one-on-one interaction more. But due to these issues which came up, and I think I should thank our teachers, mainly my main four teachers. I think Arnashal sir, Sana ma'am, Neha ma'am, and Senthil sir, who helped us, carry forward this whole semester until the end. And they literally made the impossible possible. So I'll just share my screen. So the moment we stepped into 8th semester, the first thing we got to know was that we are designing on an urban level, that is a macro level. So previous semesters, what happened was all the designs and everything was single user centric. That is, either we designed a house or a museum which has people designs catering only for that kind of user. Okay, like if you have designing a museum, we had to design based on the user interface for the museum and people who are going to enter the museum. But when we came to this semester, it was more about an urban level or an urban level, where from the micro we go to the macro, which has an impact on the whole surrounding also. And the topic which we chose was an urban interface center. So once we chose a topic, the first thing which we saw was its impact on an urban level, and that is on, if you take us designing in Bangalore, it is going to impact the whole surrounding of Bangalore, and it is going to bring about a value to that place and its surroundings. So it just does not serve a purpose of commercial value, but also a purpose of uh, the value of the whole surroundings. And so when we came to this project, the first thing which we decided was to select on the different types of users. So for the different types of users which we chose would be apt for this project, one was as a mall. When you think about a mall, you have people who just come to visit. You have people who come for the theater. You have people who come to eat, and you have people who window shop. So just if you take the mall alone has multiple different types of users who come in. And we also chose a site which is right next to the metro station. So what if not just a normal pedestrian from the road, but also a pedestrian or a user from the metro also connects to the building? So and so like this gave us this the problem that how do we integrate so many different users into one particular site. So this was a challenge which we had to face this time, and this challenge or this design also helped us issue look at a lot of issues like how do we manage the public spaces, how do we manage the flow of people, and because there are multiple different activities which is gonna happen in an urban interface center. And the three main interfaces which we have taken is the metro station, a museum, and a mall, which also should not look like just a building but also should be a part of a landscape. So that was the main intention when we particularly started this project. And coming to the site where we chose the site, um, so now we got to know what we want. Now we wanted to find a site which is similar to which can help us get the requirements which we needed. So basically it was a hypothetical site which we chose, but the site location was near Kodigehalli, that is around 2 kilometers from 1 or 2 kilometers from Hebad. And the site location why we chose it was there is a metro phase 2 proposal which is started now. So there is going to be a metro station coming right adjacent to the site which we chose, and the area of the site also was chosen based on our all the students whatever case studies we did and stuff like that. So there's so coming to the site which we chose was around 12.34 acres, and we actually assumed the site's dimensions based on the case studies which we did and the location of the metro station. We knew the metro station was going to come there, the Kodigeli metro station, but we chose the location where we could move around. So that is depending on the design. And if you look at it, the site is exactly located. If you are a frequent traveler from Ebal, you would know the points. If you go towards the airport, so there was there is a Amruthalli junction and there's a Jakkur junction, and from Amruthalli junction, which is on the southern side of the site, it is around 150 meters, and then to the northern side you have the Jakkur junction, which is around 300 meters from the site. And going into the concepts now, coming to the design, we started off the design by first we took the massing and how am I gonna bring about the whole design. So that was my first challenge. And what I thought was, okay, I have a site, let me first have a mall and a museum attached to it. And then what we did was we started adding a lot landscaping elements. So now instead of just being a building block, now we have to bring in a lot of public concourse where public will interact with the building. So it is not just you walk in directly go into the building, but also you walk through a landscape and then do the urban interface and then go into the building. So this here is what we did. So what I did was I took a chunk out of the building mass and divided the whole site into two portions. That is, in the center you have the museum with the mall, and the whole museum and the mall is overlooking a urban concourse. Is what I started off in the first, and then what I did was what happened, the landscape started got divided totally. So what I did was I moved the museum a little away, I moved the mall a little away, and connected the public concourse. So this gives a free movement and a breathing space for the whole context. And now that I moved the whole museum away and the mall away, and there's also another challenge of connecting the metro station. So now when coming to the metro station, now what I thought was, what if I could connect the metro station, which connect the whole connection acted as a public concourse and a connection to the museum and the mall. So this is how I started off the whole design concept. And this was the basic outlook, how the museum, the what you're seeing in green is the public concourse, the purple is the OIT, the museum, and the metro connection, which is over here. So basically the whole building overlooking the public concourse was the main simple concept which I started off with. So the whole building outlook ended up looking like this. So where I have the front public concourse with the whole building which is looking over it. Yeah. So now coming to the more technical part where we started the design. So, and I designed the building in such a way. Now I have the vehicular entries, what you're seeing on the screen. The vehicular entry happens exactly on the uh, western side of the site. The main road is on the western side of the site. So in the middle or in the center of the site, I'm entering the site, and then there is a long vehicular driveway. So what I have tried to do is there we need time to park, because a museum is or mall is a place where it not just one person comes there at a time. There are around 10-20 people come per minute, or uh, per 5 minutes. So you will need place to cater the all the traffic. So once they enter here, they have a long vehicular driveway, and then after a drop off, imagine there are sometimes people who wants to just go out, and then the car will go out, or there are people who wants to go directly to the ramp, and they go down to the mall's parking. So they could enter directly into the ramp, and the exit ramp was on the northern side of the site, where they could easily move out. This was the main vehicular entry. The second type of entry which I had to see was a service entry. So the service entry happened again on the northern side, where on the eastern side of the site I had both service entry and exits, which also where how the vehicle would move on the fire driveways. And the third type of entry was a pedestrian entry. What if people come in the bus, they get on the auto, and they have to enter. So the pedestrian entry also was also closer to this main entry of the vehicular main entry, but a little away, so that what I've tried to do is, if a pedestrian is crossing, coming into the building, a vehicle should not come in his way, or he should not come in the vehicle's way. So a separate entry, and all of this comes directly to the public concourse, the front open public concourse, which I designed. And so what you're seeing in yellow is the actual mall commercial area. So this whole yellow portion is where you have the shops, the retail units, and all the other commercial outlets is located over there. And another thing which is required for a mall is its breathing space and the marketing space. So if you see the marketing way, you like in general, if people, my juniors or anyone, if you walk into a mall, the first thing you will notice, which you don't actually notice it, you will see it but you won't notice it, is the marketing which is done. So how will they do the marketing in the mall? So most of the things are done either on the escalators or on the atriums. So the location of the atrium which I have taken is in such a way where when people are entering the mall and they're moving around, they always go through the atrium to all other places, to all other shops. And even when they're using the atrium or something, they're always constantly they're constantly being marketed for the products which is being sold inside the mall. And a little technical thing is the fire escapes, which is a very important thing, because in case of fire, which is not going to happen, but if it happens once in a 50 year also, it has to cater immediately. And based on our bylaws, we have 45 meters bylaws, as per bylaws, with the sprinkler system. So based on those bylaws, I have designed the fire escape strategically, which will also cater ease movement, so that people can exit out easily from when they're inside the mall. And another is the service core. Service core is a place where you, for people who don't know what a service core will also work like. So a service core is something which will house many units, so which will control the AC of the place, or the electrical unit of the place, and also the toilets, and also the lifts. So location of the service core was very important, so that it is easily accessible to all people. So it is not either too far away or too near to each other. So that was another concept. And coming to the detailing of this, the service core, as I was telling, my service core concept was designed in such a way it catered a toilet, HE room, that is air handling unit room, and then electrical room, and staircase, and also a fire escape. So this made it easy for me to design set the whole standard for the service code. Now coming to the first floor, what I've done is there is an OIT on the northern side of the site. So from the public concourse, you can either reach there by ground level. But what if there is a what do you say, VIP or someone of that kind? And what you're seeing here is a public concourse, and this way, if they move through the museum, and this is they can reach the OIT, which can cater more than 500 people. And what if there was a VIP, as I told? And what if they, when it comes to VIP, the first question is the safety also when they're watching the thing. So what I've done is, so I've created a first floor level entry into the viewing deck to the OIT, which is little covered. So if you see here, this is the entry to the OIT, and what is happening here is the connection, which comes from the mall. So they'll have a closed viewing deck where VIP people, or even if someone premium passes, or those kind of things can be used. And coming to the next floor, another important thing, which designing of the movement vertical. Now horizontal movement, I explained it to you guys, how atrium will help you give that breathing space and also have the view around the mall and not like very cramped, and opens up the space. But when I'm moving vertically, that is from ground floor to first floor to second floor, how there was another challenge which my teachers gave me, was how will I make the users move around the mall without them knowing it. So the concept which I did was, when they're entering in the ground level to the first floor level over here, if you can see I hope you can see the mouse, what I'm pointing. Um, so once they get to the first floor, so they'll have to walk all the way around the atrium to enter the second floor. So you actually don't know that you're walking all the way in circles around the mall to reach the upper floors. And what that creates is more value for the shops which are there in every floor. Or else, if the location of the escalators were placed in one place, or such kind of things, it would reduce the value of the people using the shops. Or else, if you take me, I would come into the mall, directly go to the theater or the food court. So what happens is, the other shops, I'm not looking at those shops. So what if I psychologically make the people move around? So that was another concept which I've incorporated in the atriums. And going to the second floor plan, where the metro connects to the building. So when a metro connects to the building, see, if you guys have traveled through metro, every 10 minutes you have metro, after 5 to 10 minutes you have metro trains coming to the stations. And what I'm showing you here in green is the metro connectivity, which is happening from the metro station at 12-meter above height to the building directly. So so what this is doing is, people can directly enter the mall at second floor level, and they need not come down from the metro to the ground floor and again enter. And not well. And what if I had done just a connection to the thing, it would look like another piping which is done between two buildings. So what I tried to do was, I introduced a public concourse, where even if different kind of people are coming from metro, there are some people who will want to just come, see, and then go away. There are people who really want to come into the mall, or there are people who don't want to go out directly. So what I've done is, I've created a public concourse again in the metro, which you can see here, which I've marked in blue color. So what happens is, people coming from the metro can come out to the public concourse and still have a look at the main central public concourse, which is in front of the mall. So this also, it tends to increase the number of people coming. And if things like this are not provided, the value of the mall also goes down. So what I've tried to do is, wherever people are going, they still have the view of the public concourse. Now coming to the third floor plan was nothing but a similar plan. which again has the same shop units, where in the front portion, concept was basically the front portion will have the larger shops, and the back portion will house the medium sized shops and the smaller shops. And and normally shops are sold based on the square feet rates and stuff like that. So that is depending on the thing, but only thing important thing was people had to move all around. That was the main concept. And the coming to the fourth floor plan, which is the last floor, which most of you people will directly go to when you have the movie theater or something. And designing this floor plan was a lot of it was like a back and forth arguments with my teachers, so that why should I keep it in the fourth floor, why not in the third floor, that those kind of things. So my own justification was, when someone is coming to watch movie, and let's forget the people who come late, who come directly, but majority of people tend to come little 15 minutes. So again, coming to the fourth floor plan, where as I was telling, people generally come to the theater most of the times. So when they're making the move around the mall, why not increase the movement all along the mall, vertically also, so they will get more time in the mall to see the shops. What if by creating this, someone sees some other shop and then they want to go visit the shop after that. So that was another idea. So what you're seeing here is the mall location. And so the entry to the mall happens from the lobby here. So they enter to the theater lobby, and from the theater lobby, they can view the mall. They can go into their respective screens. So I have provided 5 screens and then 1 gold class screens. So this was based on the case studies, the number of screens and stuff. And another simple thing which I tried to do was let them enter to the mall at the 4th floor level and come out at the 3rd floor level. This was my idea. So what if there was one more way which I could do, was enter in the 4th level, come out on the 4th floor level itself. But again, the vertical movement was not possible for me. So what I did was I made them enter in the 4th floor level and come out in the 3rd floor level. And so again, they were coming at the 4th floor level. They could have a view at the shops. And another technical things about designing this theater which I had to do was, the theater was connected to 2 service cores, if you're seeing here. So what happens if in case of fire in the future, if in case there's any future, the corridor which they're going to use to move out will house 2 fire escapes which can directly get the people down. They need not come into the mall. So this kind of technical thoughts were also given while designing this. And one more important thing about a mall is the food court. Now before coming to the food court, I would like to tell something before. When I was in my 3rd semester, my principal, I don't know if he remembers it or not, but he gave us a presentation where he was talking about mental psychology, like human psychology, or not psychology, if you say, how human body behaves when we come from an open place into a small place. Your eyes go black, or you have the tendency of from a very huge and bright space you come to a dark space. So the gradual transition of spaces was important. So designing the front grandness, the grand entry to the building should also have a purpose, was my idea. So what I did, I took the food court a little outside. So I projected it out. So what you're seeing here is also acting like an entry, and also serving as a purpose. So people, when they're sitting inside the food court, they can still look out to the whole public concourse. And also that height at above 12-meter height, having a food court which is like a viewing deck, and also below it, that grandness, you are coming from a whole space to a smaller space, and then again to a smaller space. So that gradual transition is something which was more important when designing for such a huge number of people. And so this was the design of the more detailed design of the theater, like above upper floor, how they're going to come out. So if you see this is the exit corridors from the theaters, and they are going to use the corridor which will be hidden from the front to the people who are inside the mall. They need not know how people are going to come out. So this what this does is the people will use the exit corridor and use a staircase to come down to the third floor. And if in case of fire, they can easily use the fire escape, which is easily connected to the exit corridors. And the purpose now, if you see how a theater is located, now you have the gradual slope up, right? So if you're seeing my cursor, there's a gradual slope up. Now what happens below? Either I can, now there's again a space below which I can use it. So some things which I can use as a projector storeroom, another things were maintenance room, because every building, if you go into a mall, there is something called a back office where there are people catering or monitoring the whole mall. So, and those people will not be visible. You won't know how they're coming in. Their entry will be from the basement and stuff like that. So for those kind of people, this place was very apt to use. So they come into the under the thing, and all your security, the building management system, the building information systems, and if in case if in case there's a future thing for automation, those kind of automation systems, all of those will be controlled from this place. So yeah, now coming to the basement, designing of the basement had to be very simple, because if any drivers are there in the group or in the meeting, whenever you come into a mall, you enter down, and the only you actually sometimes it is easy. It should be easier for you to understand how you go out. So it should be like a one way, and it's not like you have to go there, you have to find and then come back, and so it should not be like that. So the stress on driving and just parking should be very less. So sorry. So what you're seeing here in yellow color is the entry and the exit driveways. So the three dots, what is there is a place where the people are going to enter in after the drop off on the ground floor and stuff. They're going to enter here, and and what you're seeing in green is the ramp which goes to the basement number 2. So if in case the basement 1 is full, and you if in case the basement 1 is full, you need not go around searching all the place and then go to the basement 2. You can directly turn down to the basement 2. Like, so when they're coming down, you can directly turn down here and then exit down to the basement 2, and this makes it easier for the drivers to move around the whole place. And the movement is also has to be very simple. And other a normal person who visit the mall on a regular day, they don't see the services for the mall, or the museums. And what happens is you have a huge electric unit, or the DG units, or the garbage disposals, or storerooms, or AHU rooms, because the only thing people see is they come in, they buy, and they go. But where are the goods stored? So you have huge storage docks, you have a huge AHU room, you have an admin room, you have all the garbage disposal rooms. And what I have tried to do is the entry from the service happens here. There's like a service truck comes here, and each room can be catered to in this driveway, service movement driveway. And after all the pickup of the garbage or the delivery of the store docks are done, they just move out. So it is easy movement. They don't have to turn the truck or stuff like that. And another than this whole blue color, or what you're seeing is the whole service area in the basement number 1. And what you're seeing in red is the course which is going to help you go to the first floor. Nobody wants to walk back up on the ramp, right? So what I've done is I've provided lift lobbies which go down to, and also the escalator lobbies. So what they're going to do is they're going to help cater the people after the parking. It is easier for them to access to the ground floor level. Now coming to basement 2, this was the ramp which I told, and the movement is also like this similarly. So everyone, it's like a one way. So once you come down, just one way movement, and then you exit out. As simple as that. And the basement 2 also houses my sewage treatment plant and your sumps and stuff, because when you know there is a fire or something, and where do you get the water from? So you have something called the water sumps, and the water which is being used in the mall, if you drain out everything, there is a huge wastage of water, and introducing a sewage treatment plant will be very helpful. So you can treat the water again and use it again for the washroom purposes and stuff and maintenance purposes. Coming to the section, the basic section idea of how I've done was, so there's a flyover here. The flyover is in the front. So this flyover starts from Hebbad and connects to airport, international airport, and this is the metro station which is being proposed. This is the phase 2 metro station which is being proposed, and the metro connectivity, how it is happening at the station level itself, and the food court what you're seeing here, which is at the top level and can also overlook down, and it is more like a suspended or a floating kind of food court. And you have the entrance atrium, and this is the other section which shows all the atriums which is there in the mall, and also the parkings and the OIT portion over here. So this is the view of the OET what I've done. So this here on the right side portion, what you're seeing is the metro connectivity. And if someone doesn't want to go into the mall and they want to come directly to the open air theater, so I have provided this long escalator, which will help them direct. They can easily use this. They can check out over there the metro cards, and then they can use the metro escalator to come directly to the open air theater. And this is the same view, which is from the viewing deck. So this is the semi-open gallery. What I have done is, when traveling from the central concourse to the OIT, instead of just walking along a boring path, what if I have a showcase where people can take photos, or it creates that interesting transition space between everything. And even in front of the mall, what I've done is, instead of having a 2D wall, what I've tried to do is I've tried to create a mirror and also a 3D dynamic surface, which creates that tertiary depth into the wall, and it tends to make the space look more wide, or more. It has a depth kind of feeling. And the seating, what I've done is again going to look at the central. So I've also prepared this view, which is going to show you how the exterior of the building is going to look. So I think I'll show that. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you for this opportunity, and thank you all.
Nothing worth having comes easy. Thank you, Rahul, for sharing your work and perspectives. Now we move on to the second presenter. Integrating design with various aspects such as history, theory, and material science gives a structured and unique identity to a campus. Understanding the role of built environments with complexity involved helps in the exploration of various ways to design a campus. Now, I welcome Tejas from 6th semester to talk about his design work on campus design.
So, thank you, KGP and Shubha.
Yeah, you're
So,
welcome.
good
You're
afternoon,
welcome, Tejas.
everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tejas from third year. Before heading to the project, I would like to highlight my experience in online classes. So, first main thing is the flexibility in time. The time which we spent with the faculties is a little more than the regular classes. We just would have had 8 hours classes, but during this period we had that broke the limitations of the time period, which would lead to more exploration. Then the major challenge which I faced was the first attempt to the contour topograph. That is, it is actually not a flat land. It might be a part of a hill or a mountain. That is what I meant of contour. So this was an instant graphical solution by faculties helped in overcoming them. And individual attention to each students given by the faculties was helpful in this online courses. And one thing which helped us was we had opportunity to view each and every batchmate's design works, so that we won't make those mistakes, or we could add few things that would make our design get a good opinion. Then before heading to the project, I would like to thank our faculty, that is DP sir, Siddharth sir, and Maitri ma'am for guiding us for this project. So I'll just share this. So our project was to design an educational institute. So first step of any project is to know what is the project is. So we had to design campus design, right? So the difference between a college and the campus is that the college is an institute building, but while campus is its physical premises. These physical premises might include the added amenities like library, auditorium, lecture halls, hostels, and parks, and such things. Actually, campuses are the reflection of future society. It is a place for social interaction and community generation. Education started under a single tree and has evolved to a larger scale, and that shows the power of education. The proposed site at micro level is in Karnataka and India. And then at a micro level, it is Bangalore. Then at a meso level, it was 20 kilometers away from Nandil, that is Singadi Karanalli. And these are the pictures of the site from the road. Once we know the site, the next step is for the climate analysis. We just have to go through the temperature. The average temperature there was around 20 to 29 degrees Celsius with a daylight of 11 to 13 hours, and it had a rainfall of 7.5 to 75 centimeter. In the site analysis, the gray one is the main road, which was a 10-meter wide road, and since it is oriented towards the north, these are the sun paths and the wind directions. And as I told, it is a contoured land. The drain analysis and the traffic towards the roads and noise towards the roads. And one good thing about the site was it had a numerous amount of views, that is the hill views around the site and lake view inside the site. And the nearest bus station is around 4.8 to 9.9 kilometer, and railway station is the Nandihal, that is 9 kilometer, and Chikballapur is around 10 kilometers. And it is 37 kilometer away from the Kempegowda International Airport, and there are mainly two education centers nearby, that is the Visveswara Institute of Advanced Technology and Sri Satya Sai Education Institute, and community, that is the Nandils, which is around 20 kilometers, and there is a museum of Bharat Ratna Sir MV, which is 2.5 kilometers. And most important, there is a hospital that is around 3 kilometers away from the site. So the site had a climate of tropical cold dry with a temperature of 20 to 29 degrees Celsius, and the site was actually a green agricultural land with a hard and tight soil. It had a humidity of 31% and precipitation of 3%. And these are the sources which was naturally available on the site. That is the timber, soil, iron ores, and the stone. And as I told, it is a contoured site. It had a steep ratio that is differentiated according to mainly three major contours. That is the high contours, which had a slope ratio of 1 is to 20 to 40, and medium contours, which had a slope ratio of 1 is to 8 to 19, and a low contour, which has a slope ratio of 4 to 7. And the contour intervals between each contour was 2 meters. The highest point in the site is the 134 meter, and the lowest contour is the 90 meter from the ground level. And the standards and the norms which we had to refer for the campus design, that is AICTE and common NBC standards. So since it is campus, the main users are the students. These are the intakes, that is for UG and PG taken from AICTE. For UG it is 60 per student per year, and for PG it is 30 students per year. Once we get the students, we can decide the number of classrooms, laboratory, and workshops. Then student faculty ratio is around 1 is to 12. That is, for every 12 students, we must have one faculty. More than one course. As I told, campus requires a lot of amenities. These are the minimum required areas for the campus. And the total circulation area, that was around 25%. Using those standards, we mainly have three departments, that is industrial department, visual department, and textile department. So that's how we land at total number of students, that is 1,120. And using those total number of students with a ratio of 1 is to 12, we get 140. So combining 0, that is the total number of users for the campus. So concept is to rehabilitate the nature, that is to rebuild the nature again without without any human interventions of the actual site. So the first step is a common step to everybody, that is common and a hardest step to everybody, that is adjusting the blocks to the contour based on the number of classrooms, laboratory, and workshops. Then I removed few blocks so that it depicts the hill on the background. It depicts the valley between and the ridge valley, and then created voids so that there is a sufficient amount of wind circulation. That is the universal law, the warm air goes up and the cold air comes down. And doubled it and connected it through a circulation staircase, which depicts the artificially made contours. And the facade details, the main part of getting this type of facade is to depict that mind connects to the nature. So this is the conceptual zoning. In the entrance, I have given a small admin. Then to the lower part of the block, classrooms are arranged. Then labs are arranged on the benchmark of the block so that there is easy accessibilities for the machineries for exchange. And then to the top, I have all the studios. Then the staircase. Then the site zoning and the circulation. This is the academic entry and the residential entry. Common to these two entries is the academic block. It is academic block is placed there since it is the highest level of the contour as social hierarchy, and to give importance to the academic block, it is placed there. And then comes the residential block. This next to the academic block. Then all other blocks are arranged and connected with a secondary road. It is seen that each blocks will have a minimum of one view. Then this is the site plan. The blocks are oriented in such a way that the wind circulation and the orientation towards the lake and view to the hills are easily seen. And the site was around 56.8 acres with a ground cover of 30.7, where I achieved a FAR of 0.32. The actual site is the actual primary road is divided into two parts. That is the academic entry exit, which contains the main parking, admin, the auditorium, exhibition, library, workshops, and the residential entry exit will have the student garden, tennis court, basketball, then the boys hostel, recreation, and the girls hostel. Common to this, I'll have the academic block. There I have a staff area, common staff area for all the three departments. And the food court is arranged in such a way that there is easy accessibility from the academic block and the hostel block. Then moving on to the administration. In the site plan, it is seen there. The ground floor mainly has, once we enter the ground floor, we'll have a view of a courtyard, which has a wooden structure which resembles the tree of wisdom. Then it has boardroom and principal's rooms to the one wing and the working staff to the other wing. Common to this, I have a pantry and first aid kit room so that it is easily accessible to the public as well as the working staff. Then there is a central core that is continued to the first floor. The first floor basically has chairman room and directors rooms with their own private lounge area, and the conference room and counseling room which is used during admission periods. And common to this, I have a guest rooms and a common toilet room. And the section shows the first floor not only access just a first floor, it also access a mezzanine floor having a overview through the waiting lobby. Then the east facade viewing towards the lake, and the west facade that was mainly inspired from the Notre Dame, the aerial view of the academic admin block. Then moving up onto the academic block. So this is the plan of the academic block where, as I told, we had three departments. Centrally, I have placed the visual communication department, and then comes industrial design department and textile department. The space between these departments is filled with a multifunctional student plaza and connected through the interconnecting passage to all the blocks. And this passage is terminated with workshops at all the ends. And there is a staff block for all the three departments that is connected through a bridge to the departments. Then the ground floor, as I told, there is a small admin to the main drop off on the either side of the plan. And in the first floor, I have the classrooms. And in the second floor, I have the classrooms with the computer lab and a handy room, which is used by the faculties during the shift in the period. And in the third floor, I just have the studios. One good thing about the studio is each studios will have their own private courtyard, and there is no common wall sharing between them to achieve a natural lighting and a view. Then the fourth floor similarly has the studio again. And fifth floor will have the higher end batch people. And this is the layout of the studio, which holds 40 people, labs and classrooms. In the interiors of the studio, the top view of the academic block will somewhat look like this. And that's the staff area with a micro version of the whole academic area. They have their own courtyard and their own landscaping area. Then the side view of the academic block and the how the main drop of access is happening. Then each block has their own courtyard, and the exhibition has a terrace gardening with old residential type of courtyard for accessibilities of large machineries. And this is how the main entrance of the campus looks. It has a parking capacity of 60 cars with 5 buses, and there is a shed for the drivers to wait. And then the exhibition and the auditorium block. And the library block is arranged in such a way that they'll have a view towards the lake. And this is the student garden. The academic drop off. And the food court is also arranged in such a way that they are close to the lake. And this is the girls hostel, boys hostel, and the recreational area. And behind the recreational area, we have a basketball and a tennis court. And the material, the majorly used materials are the black tinted glass. It gives complete privacy to the students inside. So one can view from inside to outside, but from outside we can't see inside. And it is good at heat insulation and energy efficient type of glass. And steels for the composite beams, since it is easy in fabricating and easy for quick correction. And wooden floor tiling for again getting the natural elements to create a natural acoustic experience. And for the facade, I've used RCC mixed ferro cement, which is again durable and flexible. And mainly it is a lightweighted cement. And landscape has been divided into formal garden and informal garden. Since it is exhibition and auditorium, mostly a formal people would approach this space. So it has a formal garden with a central plaza, common central plaza to both auditorium and the exhibition. And then the informal garden that is towards the residential road. And again, this tree depicts the natural tree. Then the student plaza. Here, students can decide whether to be formal or informal. And the other landscaping elements like terrace gardening and the entrance porch and the courtyard above the classrooms. I just have a walkthrough of it. Finally, I would like to thank the moderators, organizers, and principal sir for giving me an opportunity to showcase my work. Over to moderator.
The harder you work for something, the greater you feel when you get it. Thank you, teachers, for the presentation.
Understanding the hierarchies of different types present in spaces relating to group housing and the complexities of integrating them into an architecturally meaningful whole helps in knowing the nature of organic and plant communities. I now would like to call upon the third presenter for today, Adishri from fourth semester, to present her group housing project. Over to you, Adishri.
Thank you, Kirtana, for this opportunity. Good afternoon, all. I'm Adishri. I'm glad to have this opportunity to present my work on this platform. Before starting with my design, I would like to highlight the challenges that have come through. When we were suddenly changed from in the type of method of learning from normal classes to online classes, it was very difficult for us to accept it. And there were many times network issues and we were not able to convey the ideas for our teachers. But I would like our faculties for their extensive support even after the online classes hours, which made us to get this design to this extent. Can I have the next slide, please? This semester we had been given group housing. Group housing is where we have different building units of different types with one or more floors sharing the common services. I have done few case studies on and incremental housing is one of them in Nava Mumbai by Charles Collier, where he has mainly focused on the community living and where he has used one courtyard kind with 5 typologies of house where the hierarchy of the houses are like 1 BHK, 1 BHK with separate washroom, 2 BHK, 3 BHK, and 4 BHK. He has tried to bring all these typologies in one courtyard form, where the courtyard is the common space where they can share their where they can share their ideas and interact with each other. I also got inspired from that design, and I have inculcated that ideas of community living in my design too, where the hillock and the amenities along with the water body is my overall site plan. Coming to design, we had been given 8 acres of land in which we were supposed to design 3 typologies, that is villa, row houses, and apartments. And that site had topography of level difference from 0 to 3 meter, which gradually decreased, and it was not that highlightedly noticed, but it had a hillock which was a 15-meter high and 2 water bodies. And the existing building and the OHT were the challenges given for us, that we were not supposed to remove those two, but we had to design along with that and give space for that as a part of our design. So coming to the site plan, I have given 2 entries along the longer side of the site. I have given 2 entries so that one entry from the east will support the row houses and the villas which are there towards the east of the site, and the entry from the west will support the apartment blocks which are there towards the west of the site along the hillock side. Here we can see the site section. The slope is gradually decreasing from the entry from east towards the west. So I've used this gradual decrease of the slope, which is of 3 meter, to have my services, and I have placed my sump which connects from OHT near the apartments, which is near the hillock, and also STP near the water body, so that I no need to dig more for providing the services. I can give it along with the topography. Next slide, please. Can I have the next slide, please? Coming to the villa. No, previous one. Coming to villa, as it was one of the top typologies given for us. In the ground floor of the villa, I have car parking as soon as I enter the villa, which leads towards the entrance, then the living, and which overlooks the dining. So living becomes the public place and the dining becomes a semi-public. And I have given a guest room in the ground floor itself, so that the whole ground floor will act as a semi-public area. And I have given swimming pool along with the water fountain and seating outside the villa. And in the first floor, I have 2 bedrooms along with 1 family area, where the family area overlooks the fountain and the swimming pool outside. And in the second floor, I have a home theater along with 1 semi-open gym and 1 bedroom. Can I have the next slide, please? Coming to the section, I have taken this section through the stairs along with the living room. In the ground floor, we can see the living room, and in the first floor, we can see the bedroom, and in the second floor, we can see the home theater. Next slide. in section this is another section taken through the home theater along with the semi-open gym to show like how the semi-open is provided in the semi-open gym area. Here in the ground floor, I have taken the section through the living area, and which is leading in the ground floor. I have taken the section in the living area along through the washroom, and in the first floor, the section is taken through the bedroom and the family space. Whereas in the second floor, I have taken the section through the home theater and semi-open gym, where the home theater you can see the seating I have increased with the levels so that it will be easy for the person who is sitting behind to see the screen. And in the semi-open gym, I have removed the wall from one of the side and I've just given the railings. Next slide. This is the view of the villa, where the blue color along with the pergola represents the roofing for the car parking. And that is the staircase headroom. Next slide. Coming to the row houses. As soon as we think of row houses, we think wall attached to the other wall, like common wall sharing between the houses. But I wanted to bring the community living even in the row houses instead of having it in a long length. So what I have done here is I have designed it in such a way that one of the side of the row houses, that is back side of the row house, will be sharing the common wall with the other side of the other house. And this is the arrangement where I have given 9 row houses as one arrangement, like 9 row houses together forms one unit here. And the red color what I have marked is the entries. Next slide, please. Yeah, coming to the planning of the row house, in the ground floor, I have the entrance which leads directly to the living, and I have the staircase behind the living area, and I have a cutout through the staircase. Since it is an open well, and the dining can be overlooked from the first floor, and I have the kitchen area next to the dining, and a washroom and a bedroom. And in the first floor, I have I've provided a small family area along with 2 bedrooms, where one of the bedroom has a large balcony for it, along with one attached washroom. And coming to the section, first section is taken through the staircase, where we can see the dining and the kitchen, toilet. And the second also this in the second floor also we can see the section through the toilet and the stairs, like the wall which is behind seen in that section AA is the common wall shed, so we don't have ventilations provided in that wall. And when coming to the section BB, it is taken through the bedroom, where in the first ground floor we can see kitchen along with the bedroom, and in the first floor we can see bedroom along with the family area. Next slide, please. These are the elevations where I have used normal concrete for the elevation treatment. But over the over the windows, I've used a stucco finish, like all along long length along the window. Since I have the windows in one line, I've used stucco finish to decorate the elevations. Can I have the next slide, please? Coming to the plans of the apartment, where I have two plans, one for 2 BHK and the other was 3 BHK. Coming to the 2 BHK plan, there is directly entrance from the corridor to the living area overlooking the dining, where the dining is having a balcony with the window and a sliding door. Then next to the dining, I have provided the kitchen and a bedroom behind the kitchen, and I have placed the master bedroom like a little away from the living, so that it will have its privacy. And I have given all this cuts in front of the master bedroom to achieve the ventilation to both the washroom and the next like when I put the same arrangement side by side, also I can achieve the ventilation to the room which is on the right side. Coming to the 3 BHK plan, I have 3 BHK plan which is leading to the living with the foyer, and then the living is having a balcony, but it is not open directly, it is having just a window, and the living overlooks the again dining. From next to the dining, I have the kitchen, where the kitchen is having that balcony as a utility area, and then I have bedrooms placed after that to achieve privacy, since bedrooms are the private places. I have the master bedroom in the left corner, and I have given again the same cutout, so that when the plants are like when they are overlapped with each other, not placed next to, like when they are reflected back, the ventilation is achieved to all the places. I will explain the things in the next upcoming slides, like how I have placed the plants. Next slide, please. Yeah, I have basically 4 apartment layouts, where first apartment layout is only of 2 BHK. I have a staircase and a lift opposite to the staircase, and I have the plants repeated in the same order, like placed next to each other. They are not reflected. I mean, the reflection of the plan is not there, but the plants are placed each other as I explained previously in 2 BHK. And the duct is there given for the washrooms. And when it comes for the apartment, second apartment, I have 3 BHK plants, where the plants are mirrored, and the balconies, as you can see, there are balconies shared among 2 houses with a partition wall in between. And in the second apartment, I have a swimming pool in the ground floor and a gym in the first floor, in next to the apartment, which acts as a part of the apartment. Next slide, please. Coming to the another apartment layout, here I have only 2 BHK apartments, but I have placed all to around 12 units of 2 BHK in one apartment. Here I have again placed the plants next to each other, and I have given the duct, so that duct which is of around 6 meter wide, to get proper ventilation and lighting in between. Next slide, please. And this is the last apartment layout, that is the fourth apartment. Here I have combined both 3 BHK and 2 BHK, where there is a connective bridge between 3 BHK and 2 BHK. This connective bridge will be in ground floor, in second floor, and in fourth floor. And there is a cutout in the center of the connective bridge. And the plans are again repeated, mirrored for 3 BHK, and it is repeated for 2 BHK. Next slide, please. Can I have the next slide, please? Coming to the site view, here you can see the apartment blocks, like 4 main apartment, where towards the corner of the site towards the west, I have the fourth apartment. That is where there is the combination of both 3 BHK and 2 BHK. Just in front of that, towards the other side of the site, I have 2 BHK apartments with 3 towers, and next to the hillock to the right side, I have apartment 2, which has a swimming pool and a gym. And next to the water body, like towards the corner, I have apartment 1, which has 4 units of 2 BHK. And you can see the row house units, like how I have placed the arrangement. The row houses look like 2 different blocks in each and every arrangement, but there are different, like total of 9 houses in that. And this is the overall view of the site, aerial view. And thank you.
Great things never come from comfort zones. Thank you, Adishri, for the presentation. As Alejandro Aravena once said, and I quote, architecture is about giving form to the places where people live. It's not more complicated than that, but also not simpler than that. The relationship between humans and their built environment provides the ability to generate solutions to spatial constraints which integrated principles of design with functional requirements. I now would ask the fourth presenter for today, Piyush from second semester, to present his work on architect's design. Over to you, Piyush.
Thank you, Kirtana. Can I have the slides, please? Hi, everyone. Good evening. Myself, Piyush from Aditya Academy of Architecture and Design. Today in this session, I will be speaking about the residence design project that I have done in my second semester architectural design project. Before I start my presentation, I'd like to highlight a few issues we faced during the online classes and how we overcame those issues gradually. Due to pandemic, switching from traditional classroom and face-to-face learning to computer-based training in the virtual classroom was an entirely different experience for us. E-learning was a good experience, but at its initial stage, it was difficult to get adapted to the new way of learning. We were facing many difficulties. The first difficulty was the presentation of our ideas and designs in online platform. It was very difficult to explain it to our faculty. One other major difficulty that we faced was the corrections that were made by our faculties by marking on our shared screen. It became pretty hard to work with that as it was quite difficult to visualize the corrections made. But as and how time moved, with faculty's constant motivation, support, and our efforts, we could overcome all the challenges and come up with our amazing works. Now, starting with the project. The aim of the project. An architect wanted to design his own house, which he wanted to be unique and showcase his talent. It had to be an iconic building, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity where there is no restriction from the client, and therefore he could do any creativity in the design. There were some conditions for designing the project. The design has to be eco-friendly with climate response features, and the sun path and topography should be considered. Can I have the next slide, please? Now coming to the site analysis. The site that we got is a 24-meter by 15-meter site located in Bangalore. The site is a corner site with road on two sides. The site has a 15-meter wide road on the south side and a 12-meter wide road on the west. There are residential buildings at the north and east side, and also there is a lake opposite to the 12-meter wide road. The setbacks of the sites are 9.2 meter to the north, 1.2 meter to the east, 2.88 meter to the south, and 1.8 meter to the west. The sun angle during summer solstice is 80 degree and during winter solstice it's 54 degree. The summer temperature can reach a high of 36 degrees Celsius and in some winter it can reach a low of 16 degrees Celsius. The climate of Bangalore is tropical. The primary winds to the site is blown from the southwest direction and secondary winds from the northeast. The soil type of the site is lead laterite and lead fine loamy to clayey soil. Now can I have the next slide, please? Now the concept used to design my project. The concept of my project is harmonious symphony in rhythmic cubic forms. Why I selected the rhythmic cubic forms? The reason behind it is the literature case study that I did. I have derived the idea for my concept from my case study. The study idea was a single-story house designed by architect Roland K. Quilche in 1945. The house was a well-arranged combination of squares in plan. So I thought of doing a composite design with only cubes and cuboids. The house is a compact house with a big open area around it for green space. The open area idea I have used as the concept of large balconies in my project. Also, the house had lead-to roof and screen spaces, which I have reflected in my design. The forms used were mainly cubes and cuboids. These shapes are arranged in orderly manner to bring about unity of space inside and outside the homely space. Unity in design is a measure of how well each element of our design works together. It describes the overall design and whether its components work together in harmony to communicate a single idea. So in my concept, it's the cubes and cuboids working in harmony to get the common idea. The house is planned around the double height cuboid form of living room whose volume bridge the entire entry level with the more private upper level. The bridge overlooking the living at mid-level of double height living room transforms the huge volume to human scale. Also in my concept, I have used additive and subtractive transformations. Through additive and subtractive forms, transformation from more closed and private to open and public space have been created. On the exterior, closed cubes are transformed into open spaces in the form of balconies by extending the volumes. For zoning, I have counted the ground and first floors as public and semi-private spaces and second and third floor as private spaces. Can I have the next slide, please? Now coming to the floor plans, the ground floor plan. The entry to the house is from the west. There are two entries to the house. One entry is for the office area and other entry leads to the stairs that goes to the first floor to the main residence. The office entry is to the northwest, where it leads to the waiting area. The main entrance to the office is in the workspace. The workspace is for 4 people and there is a toilet attached to it. From the workspace, there is a passageway that leads to the entrances to the cabin and discussion room. The cabin also has an attached toilet. All the 3 spaces, the workspace, cabin, and discussion room, have decks which connect the office area to the green spaces outside. To the southwest, there is the stairs to first floor and the closed parking for 2 cars with an attached garage. Now coming to the first floor plan. Taking up the stairs to the first floor, we come up to the garden space. We enter residence through the garden space. At the entrance, there is the foyer. The compact foyer space leads to the huge living space, and the contrast in the cuboid spaces are clearly felt. The living room is about 6 meters in height, whereas the house is usually 3 meters. The living room is connected to a balcony on the west, which gives a great view of the lake and connects to the landscape outside. The living room has the stairs to the second floor on the east side and the puja room on the north. From the living room, we go to the dining on the northwest and guest bedroom to the northeast. Also, there is a common bathroom on the east side of the floor. The dining also has a sit-out space and is directly connected to the kitchen. The sit-out space has a bar counter. The sit-out becomes a nice space for relaxing because of the lake view and the cool breeze from the lake. The guest bedroom to the northeast also has a balcony to the north, and it connects the bedroom to the green space. Can I have the next slide, please? The second floor plan. The floor has the master bedroom, kids' bedroom, and the gym. The connecting bridge, cum balcony, overlooks the double height living and unifies the whole house. One can easily hear any noise or call for help from one corner of the house to the other. There is an advantage of duplex type of planning. We don't feel that we are living in separate floors. The master bedroom and kids' bedroom are to the north. The master bedroom has a balcony on the northwest that gives a nice view. The bedroom also have a walk-in closet with connected bathroom. Also, there is a study space in the bedroom. With additive transformation, even the kids' room has been provided with a balcony. Not to be left off, even the gym space has a balcony with green view to relax after heavy workout. Now to the third floor plan. At the third floor, after coming up the stairs at the left, we have the open terrace with skylight, and at the right, we have the gaming room and the family sitting connected to the terrace. These are the essential areas of the house that leads to strong homely feeling and togetherness. Can I have the next slide, please? So here are the south and west elevations. In the west elevations, we can see the double height space that gives a volume to the house. The whole double height space is glass paneled, so there is a good lighting and a good view of lake from the living and the bridge across inside. Also, we can see the sit-out space with entries from the kitchen and the dining. The living and dining also gets a lot of lighting because of the glass panels. In the south elevation, we can see the open gym and the open terrace. Also, we can see the stairs to the first floor and the extended part of the stairway landing with glass panels that provide light and ventilation to the stairway landing. Can I have the next slide, please? So here are the north and east elevations. In the east elevation, we see the extended part of the stairs with the balconies that are on the east side. In north elevation, we can see the deck space at the ground floor. Next slide, please. The sections. Here's the section AA-. It shows the parking in garage at ground floor, double height living at the first floor, and internal balcony cum bridge at the second floor. This is really the bridge that bridges the entire entry level with the upper level of the house. And the beauty of duplex planning can be appreciated here. Here we can see the hint of volumes that is used for the design. So next slide, please. So here's section BB-. In this section, we can see the zoning that I have incorporated. In the ground floor, we see the discussion room and workspace, which are the public spaces. At first, we have the living, dining, kitchen, and puja room, which are the semi-private. And at the second and third floor, we have the bedrooms and gym, gaming room, and family setting. Those all are the private spaces. The whole ground floor is used as public space, first as the semi-private and public, and the second is fully private. And the third floor, it's a fun zone with the gaming and family setting. This is the isometric view. Here's a 3D view of the house. The 3D view shows all the elements of design that I have tried to incorporate. The house is built of bricks and has a large areas of tinted glass to ward off harsh sun rays. Here we see the stairway to the first floor. And it has an extended part coming out. The space is used to give some plantations there and continue to the garden space. Then in the view, we see the balconies. All the balconies are arrayed with glass panel railing for an exotic look. Now about the roof. The smaller roof is a glass roof that works as a skylight for the double height space. And the larger roof that covers the family setting is equipped with solar panels for an eco-friendly power source. So next slide, please. So this is the model of the concept. Next slide, please. So this is the end of my presentation. I would like to thank my AD faculty, Jairam sir, Nandini ma'am, Snehal ma'am, and Harshita ma'am for the support and giving me this opportunity. I'd also like to thank our principal Ganesh sir for making this session successful. Thank you and be safe.
Thank you, Piyush, for the presentation. Results happen over time, not overnight. Work hard, stay safe, stay consistent, and be patient. With this, we come to an end of today's project presentations. We hope it would have given a glimpse of the evolution of design process year after. Before proceeding to vote of thanks, we would like to take a moment to convey our gratitude to the selfless service of frontline warriors and healthcare workers who are risking their lives and working tirelessly during this pandemic crisis. We would like to thank them for being the nation's guiding light in the face of this adversity. Let us all thank the Almighty for giving us the strength and keeping us safe in this time of pandemic. I now hand over to Shubha to present the vote of thanks.
I would like to extend an hearty vote of thanks to all. I would like to take this opportunity wholeheartedly extend my gratitude to Director Professor K.N. Ganesh Babu sir for motivating and giving our students a zestful platform to showcase their works. I would like to thank the faculty of Aditya Academy of Architecture and Design for constantly supporting us and encouraging us to strive and work hard towards achieving our goals. And I would also take this opportunity to thank the management of Aditya Group of Institutions, who has been a backbone for extending their support always. I thank all the delegates and esteemed members of the architecture fraternity who joined us today. We will continue to have the other presentations this week. Stay tuned, thank you, and stay safe.
Thank you, everyone.
A very good afternoon to all. I hope it was an eventful afternoon. I would like to thank Architect Ganesh Babu sir, Architect Arunachal sir, all the organizing committee, students for communicating throughout this session. This Open Week session is mainly to encourage and motivate our students who have overcome this difficult situation. By going online learning, it's been hard for both students and teachers to overcome this situation and wonderfully culmination of this semester. We at AAAD encourage peer learning and sharing practice, our ideas at all levels with open mind. Hopefully we have a wonderful week with many more presenters. Stay tuned and enjoy the session. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Stay safe.
Thank you, everyone.